I think that overall the performances have been good. And yeah, just the results haven't been optimal. But again, we're still definitely within striking distance. You know, I may eat my words here, but Chelsea honestly does not scare me all that much long term.
I don't know. I think
I,
they're playing poorly and are looking comfortable at the top. So I would be more nervous about
to
Chelsea
me,
than
they look like a team to me that are in good form, but I don't think
I don't see.
they'll
That's funny. I
last.
don't think they're in good form and they're still up there.
Possibly, but
I think Liverpool
it's
can
also
beat
like a
them. To be
personnel
clear,
thing
I'm
too.
not
Like
saying
I just
Liverpool can't beat them, but I think it's
who
long term. I think Chelsea's built to just grind out a season, maybe a little bit better than Liverpool.
Yeah, but I
This
think that only
this
works. I think that only like Leicester could only win the league when like City and Liverpool and like United and its like in the dearth of other good teams. And I don't think that's the situation. I don't think like yes, Chelsea they could win. I think they would be one of like the worst Premier League champions ever. Again, I'm not trying to be sensationalistic. I'm just saying
you're
they wouldn't
very
be that
harsh.
exciting. They wouldn't be that exciting. And my point is that like who look at their
They're
personnel. Like
scoring
I
30
love
goals
Tuchel.
already.
Tuchel's
It's not like
doing
they're
a
not
great
scoring.
job. What?
They're scoring 30 goals. It's not like they're not. They're like the second best attack in the league.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
getting a
behind
little harsh.
us.
I'm not out here trying to, like be a Chelsea supporter.
Behind us. We've scored the most goals and had the
I know.
highest
Yeah.
xG. And I think City's not really firing. I think there's going to start to be like
This is
a
where they
bit
take off, though. I'm
exactly.
convinced.
Yeah, I
This is
think
what.
the media is going to cool on them and say like, oh, look at Chelsea, and like Liverpool's right there, ready to strike. City's not really like doing it or whatever. But you're an idiot if you ever write off City. Anyway, my point is back to Chelsea. I just think that they have a good team and they're pretty deep, but they have a lot of good players and who they like turn to, like their difference makers or when things go off the boil for them a bit, like who are they going to turn to? Lukaku really hasn't been doing it for Chelsea. And maybe this is to your point that they haven't been playing that well and they can be even better. But, that's a big if. You don't just all of a sudden get better. Anyway, Lukaku hasn't really been doing it. I'm kind of a hater on Lukaku. Havertz is, I think, for his entire career, is going to be like just that he can be great, and you have no idea what he's going to do in the next game. He's very talented, but I just don't think he's going to be like a consistent player. Timo Werner, LOL. Hudson,
Chivas looks like he's found his rhythm a little bit. He's been scoring recently. I do agree, though. LOL. He needs like 40 chances to score.
Hudson Odoi, came in and he got them at least one goal today. So like he's almost like their Lingard, where like you can slot him in. You have to be thrilled that you have a player of that quality. So while you can keep him and keep him happy, and I don't know how long he's going to be okay with coming off the bench. He may want to go to Bayern or Juve or whatever in the somewhat near future, but that's a really nice option to have off the bench. Ditto on Pulisic. So they have so many weapons, but it's just like when they hit that bump in the road, what are they going to do? And I'm not questioning Tuchel, but to me, it's just like Tuchel has been quasi genius level so far, taking over and then winning the Champions League. I mean, you can't be mad at that. But anyway, live top table. Liverpool would get to second place, 4 points behind Chelsea. Although West Ham, West Ham has played. Oh, I think they lost to Wolves today.
They lost today,
City,
yeah.
City play tomorrow. I forget against whom,
Yeah, I'm
but
not sure.
they are. What was that? They would be 2 points back from Man City Everton. They just showed 9 a.m. tomorrow. But anyway, you guys let me know how do you view Chelsea?
Like I said, I
I
think they could win
I
the league. I really think they can.
I told you I don't scare them. I don't think they're going to pound us or City, as we drew them. City beat them, but I feel like they are built to give every other team, the mid-table teams and those lower table teams, a really hard time. I
True.
That's
do.
my belief. I think Liverpool could take. Oh well, I guess they already drew. They could take 4 points off,
Yeah,
but it won't matter because Liverpool would drop somewhere that Chelsea won't this year. That's my
exactly.
argument. For Chelsea.
That's my unfortunate feeling. I feel like they are built.
I feel like Liverpool has already dropped where Chelsea isn't dropping yet. Like, it's already happened.
Right.
That's the Brighton game, the West Ham game, the Brentford game. They're killing me already. Only 12 games in.
Right. Here's the thing. I sort of would rephrase this in how I view like the Brentford and the Brighton games. Like Brentford, they're the new Leeds. They're just a crazy team. You know, those things can happen. That's going to happen to every single team. And honestly, they're going to beat teams that they like should. You know, they'll get scalps or whatever. But so yeah, you just can't fault that. To me, Lee, what I would cede to you is that are those 2 games, or you know, with West Ham 3 games, where you're going to look back at the end of the season and say like, oh, if we only had four more points or 2 more points or whatever. Yes, certainly. But here's the difference where I would maybe draw a distinction between you and me. Let me know if you disagree. Is that's like a retroactive, like, oh, that might be a problem. Whereas like I'm viewing it like, okay, what's the next game? And like from that, whatever, 12 games played, that leaves 24 more games. I'll take a 24 game. Like looking forward, I'm not afraid because it's not like, I don't know, and maybe this is unfair to you, but I almost take that as like, oh, this is a symptom. Like if we're going to drop this game, that means we can drop other games like this. Where maybe I'm just too optimistic. I just don't think like, okay, that happened. I don't see that as a predictor of future success. And therefore, since there are 24 games left in the season, Klopp's you just don't have to beat Chelsea to win the league. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking myself in circles, but it's just, who will be primed to just knock down those bowling pins? And I think we can do that. I think we can go on more of a run than Chelsea can. But obviously, African Cup of Nations and injuries will be.
Yeah, that's where I just think Chelsea has it beat. I think Liverpool always have an injury in them that can be major.
Yep.
And Chelsea, well, if they lose, they really like Mount is arguably the most important player, which is also probably filling into your "are they that good" thing. But he plays a freaking role that I didn't realize. I did, like, everyone keeps talking about when Mount's in, when Mount's not in. Like, their only dip this season was when Mount was out for, like, 2 games. Which is just, like, silly to me because he went from Lampard's teacher's pest to, like, he is actually a really important player.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think he's that good, but I can't deny the impact he's had, so.
Yeah.
He's one of those, like, he's the in-betweener. He runs that in-between line. He gets the ball to Lukaku and stuff. I think, they're just obnoxiously deep. And like, I know you don't like him, but Reece James is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he's been really good. Also, a player that I didn't even mention, Ziyech.
Oh yeah, what is that? Yeah, Ziyech, he scored today, right? Or no, maybe it's how he assisted or something. I don't know. I don't think he did score. I think he passed it to Pulisic.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lee. I mispronounced his name. My bad.
Yeah, Ziyech. Yeah,
Ziyech. Okay, yeah. And he made, he's been making some headlines that he probably wants to go possibly in January if he's not going to be playing, which, that'll be... I just think that Chelsea are playing, not to rehash this whole thing, but Chelsea are playing well now, but it could be, sometimes there isn't a rhyme or reason why you have a not so great run of form, and you're going to need players to pull you out of that. When everything's looking well, like Brendan Rodgers syndrome, when everything's looking well, like Liverpool had problems scoring goals back in the days of like even Suarez and Serge. Everyone likes to remember like the good times then, but there were times where like you're like, oh, we have 0 goals from midfield. It's all Suarez. Very similar to Aubameyang. Suarez can score 31 goals, but that doesn't mean anything for Liverpool's problems back in 14-15, where there were a lot of times where we just like couldn't score goals. And so my analogy to Chelsea is like, yes, when things are going well, Hudson-Odoi is going to play well, Pulisic's going to play well, Mount's going to play well, Havertz. But when things take a turn, I guess what I'm saying is I don't think the team has the experience to dig themselves out. And what is that based on? That's based on my gut feeling. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're missing the foundation, though. They've let in 4 goals in 12 games. They do not get scored on. So they just need to pop in a goal, and then it comes down to they have 30 talented players up top that can do it, even if it's not clicking. So I hear you, but I think
and I could be wrong in this, but I think the data analysts would actually disagree with you because I think, is it great to have an airtight defense? Absolutely. But guess what? If you're not scoring, the analysts would prefer you to score boatloads of goals, which Liverpool does.
But
I'd actually like to look up a stat. How many
that.
times this season has Liverpool not scored 2 or more goals? I bet you that'd be 1 or 2 games. So anyway, my point is even if Liverpool let in 2 or 3 goals a game, am I happy with that? No. And Lee is more pissed about this than I am. But it doesn't really worry me that much because this is Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. We're going to score 3 and 4 games, 3 and 4 goals so many times in every single game that statistically, I think that we're going to be in less trouble than Chelsea because if Chelsea's going to be in a dead rubber match, sometimes you're not going to get that winner. Sometimes it's Timo Werner hitting the crossbar from 2 yards that costs you 2 points. Because obviously Chelsea have played really well this season. I'm predicting that they're going to have a spell which they're going to have trouble getting out of.